All right, so today is Wednesday. This is our curriculum partner session, um, and we will get started with our land acknowledgement. So we acknowledge that the land on which we are connecting through is part of the traditional territory of the Chippewa, Odawa, Potawatomi, and Delaware nations. By personally making a land acknowledgement, you are taking part in an act of reconciliation, honoring the land and Indigenous heritage. So we were going to check in and see if there were any successes, challenges, how did it go today? But we will just keep moving for now. So we have been talking about how we're meeting the curriculum expectations this week, what that looks like, remembering that we're focusing on review, we're moving slowly, working through some of those tech issues that might come up, and problem solving for both teacher and students. And then planning, plan daily for your day, but remember that things can take longer in the virtual world. And then what are your students expected to do when they have finished their work? What are they working on? So what are some things that you have set up for our virtual teachers if your students are done the task that they are working on?
Choice boards with like different games or vocab, especially for core French. Like we do a lot of vocab practice, so I have choice boards with like different vocab sets or a game that they can go to.
So do you have that posted in your Google Classroom or in the Seesaw class, or
Yeah,
how do they access that?
So I use Google Classroom, so it's all posted in Google Classroom. So, and I guess mine is actually all attached to like a Bitmoji classroom so that I can just keep, like I can, right now we're working on like family vocabulary, but then I also have links to YouTube videos right in that Bitmoji classroom so that they can just, they can kind of go at their own pace and pick and choose what they want to work on.
So Chelsea, how did you create your choice board? Like what program and software did you?
So it's all done on Google Slides. So then my Bitmoji classroom, like slide 1 is my actual classroom, and then they can just click. All the different slides are linked to the first slide. So then if they want to play around with like La Famille vocabulary, then they can click on La Famille. They go to that slide. When they're done, there's like a star that they can go back to the first slide. And then if they want to go and they want to check out some YouTube videos, I've linked a bunch of different French YouTube videos, and that will take them to another slide. But it's all done through one slide deck. So then I can keep adding and keep everything in there, but just add as we're changing subjects and topics.
That's awesome. So if a person didn't know how to create that, do you have sort of like, we're not looking for a tutorial right now, but like how did you learn, or is this something you already knew, or what would you recommend?
So I really picked Melissa Dent's brain. I'm in her 21st century learning like Google Drive, and she had a bunch of different templates, and then I just kind of like have made it my own, just picking like what do we do in class, and then I add that in. Really, it's always a working document, so I probably change something every time I go into it.
But that's what keeps it fresh for the students too, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise it does get a little stale, I imagine.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Chelsea.
Just to add to that, because I do the same thing as well. In that virtual drive, there's the virtual teacher one. There's like the 21st century. There's so many of them. They're all over the place. But yeah, you can just like copy and paste like full classroom sets. So Melissa sent out one for like Remembrance Day, or there's ones that were they're kind of just floating around all over the place if you see them. But the biggest thing is that a lot of them are using, like, you take a picture. And then you're linking that picture to a website, or like Chelsea was saying, to a YouTube video or anything like that. So the student clicks on it and then they're able to get to, whatever resource it is. I just introduced another one for my kids for a math classroom because I just needed some more manipulatives, and it's that, right? So there's like 20 different pictures of little manipulatives. So they click on it and it brings them to a website that has that manipulative, like a whether it's a number line or we're doing shapes right now. So we have nets and we have, you know, different shape tools that they can use.
Do you want to share that? And I'm wondering if both of you want to just
I was
like
just
just
gonna
quickly
say that.
screen share your like the choice boards or that you're.
Sure.
I'll stop
Let
Take your
sharing.
time. You take your time.
Yeah, I can figure out how to screen share and zoom now. Okay, hold on.
If you're on a
Link
computer,
share.
like that, yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, Steph.
No, I was like, maybe it would be nice if they could see it,
I
right?
agree.
Like,
Yeah.
and yours too, Chelsea.
If it's easily accessible.
Oh, share
you have it
screen.
handy.
Literally the button that says share screen.
And then you should be able to choose the tab that you're looking at.
I think it's this one.
Yay!
Yeah, you can see it.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So this is mine, and I got this from a colleague. Just like the template, so I kind of, you know, duplicated a lot of things, and you know, you just kind of change it to make it my own. So what the students see when they go in here is, you know, I have it. So it's really good to know for teachers when you're posting this, put it into preview mode or sorry, publish mode. So when you're in Google Slides, you go File, Publish to Web. And then it gives them this. It doesn't give them like the slide view, so they can't change anything. They can't go through the slides.
That's a really good tip.
Yeah, and then so for them, they can go. So our math class is down
Oh.
here, and then they just click on it, and then I have like different class codes. So these was what I originally had, and then I just found a kind of an expansion. So there's like a whole bunch of new things. So you can click on any of these, and it brings you to different resources. And
Sorry,
these are
Ryan,
like,
what grade do you teach?
I do 2-3, so I'm
Okay.
homeroom.
Yep.
Which is, yeah. So I have that, and then you know I have my picture to go back to the main screen, and then so gym is one that I've focused on a lot. Phys ed, all that stuff. That's me working out.
That's great.
So
Walk
this
us
is
through
like,
some of these if you don't mind, because I know we
yeah.
definitely have phys ed teachers as part of this group, so that'd be great.
Yeah, so like one of the things, like when they're done early, if they want to do anything in the brain break room, they can do that. They can, you know, on all of these, can you see when I open up links, or
Yep.
does it stay on
Nope.
that
we
one?
can see
Okay.
them. Yep.
Yeah, so like this one obviously has an ad. So there's yoga videos, there's a whole bunch of different stuff that's kind of linked to this. And then I have another fitness room, and they're just kind of all over the place. I think this slide probably has 20 or so slides in it. And sometimes I'll hide them so the kids can't access them. Like I have ones from oh, well, Remembrance Day is still in there. All of the holiday ones are still there, but they just can't see them because I've taken off the links. And then that way, you know, if I need them again at some other point, I give them access and I put the links back in to get to those slides. And yeah, so
Cool.
like I have my reading rooms open there. Oh, my snowman's still up there, so I guess I haven't taken that one down
Well,
yet.
it's still winter.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
I can share mine here too. So this one is mine, and actually I have my alphabet here is all linked up to like, so
cool.
I'm working on adding words that like vocab that we've been doing.
That's your own word wall you're creating as you go. That is awesome.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I've been so frustrated with word walls. Because they're so difficult to do virtually.
Well, I've just been finding like, especially with core French, it's so hard because they really don't know how to spell anything. So if I put our vocab there for them, then at least they know where it is, so they can access it on their own.
And you could easily, for the little ones or like our French students, add an image too to either any of those words that might be hard for them to decode, right? That is awesome.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then my star, that star is just like my home. So right now we're working on La Famille. So this links it. There's a couple of videos, not like I just embedded them right into so they don't get lost on YouTube.
So they don't have to leave, right? They can watch them right here.
And then I have like our Quizlet deck, which takes them right to our Quizlet. I have, for some of the kids, like Quizlet doesn't work for them. So I have a second flashcards with Flippity. And then I have like a match and a hangman game as well. And then my home is hiding behind, oops. We don't want to watch Smile and Learn. But my home is hiding. How do I, oh, right there. And then, yeah, I use Smash Education with my core kids. So I have the link so that they can go right there. But there's really cool things like the computer is linked to my email, and my Bitmoji is actually linked right to my Google Meet. So if they lose the Meet link, then they can just click on that. And then there's things you can do, like I've added this Eiffel Tower picture, and in it they can go for like this little virtual field trip to the Eiffel Tower. And so there's just like lots of different things that you can add in, and then you can change them out. Like I have had the Eiffel Tower in there for a while, so I'm looking for a different monument tour that I could post in there instead.
Cool.
That's super awesome. Thanks, guys. Those are great.
Right here.
Awesome. All right, so and so we had also talked in previous sessions about finding ways to connect and setting clear expectations, teaching students how to use the Meet features. So when you were setting up, like when you were getting started at the beginning of the year, are there things that you did with your students that you found really helped to kind of build that community in the class, or help them navigate the tools when they first started? Anything that you really like, that really jumped out at you, that you're like, oh, you know what, that was really great for my kids to know how to do? Any of those things?
I took it really slow with them, and we did some Simon Says stuff, like just finding certain features. I had, I think at one point I had 3 devices going, because I had me on my iPad, I had me on a Chromebook, and then I had on my laptop, just so because all of them are different, right? Because I have some students that are on iPads and like, well, we don't have those 3 dots, or we don't have this button, so I had to like log into everything to show them. But honestly, it's taking it slow, and it's repeating it. Because I found there were some days where I'd be like, hey, let's practice, whatever with screen sharing. That's screen sharing is we were every single day we're all sharing screens, like we're always using it. And then so I did it once, and then like I did it a few days later and everybody forgot. So I think it's just keeping it consistent and just finding something, finding kind of what's important to you. Like I know there's some teachers that are using I guess that was before the hand up feature got in, but like using the chat to type certain things if they had questions. My kids didn't really like doing that. They wanted to just actually raise their hand. So like that worked for me. Even now, like some of my kids use the digital hand, some don't. It really just depends. Majority of them just puts their hand up, and they're just more comfortable with that. I focused a lot on getting them to sign in with their school emails. They're not signing in with parents' emails and all that stuff. So I have like no problems with names, and everybody knows how to log in. And I think it's just more that repetition thing, and just constantly getting them used to everything, and just taking it slow.
Lots of practice to do
Yeah.
those skills, right?
Yeah,
Because
especially with
they're
the younger ones.
Yeah.
And taking it slow, like you said. And I love the idea of like turning it into a game, like Simon Says.
We played so much. It was Mr. C Says as we were going through it, but it was like an everyday thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But like it's a fun way to practice, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing. Like that, definitely like the expectation is that things, like I would just love to like reach through my screen and be like, this is the button you push. But no, I actually started my own Google Classrooms back in November, just so that we could have like a little bit like more of a French space. And I spent probably 2 or 3 weeks like making sure all the kids were in and they knew how, like, that, because like they were so used to just like, they go into Google Classroom and they had their one block. So like they had to learn how to switch between like one classroom and the other. So we would just like practice that. And like, yeah, the raise hand feature has been very helpful.
I'm excited for them to add the breakout rooms whenever we get access to that. I've been I do like 5 different Google Meets sometimes to do
I was going to
rooms, so
ask how you're managing that now. Is that what you're doing? And then just the kids go to the separate room, like separate meets?
Yeah, so part of for that part of my virtual class, I have another page with a bunch of like room, like door icons.
Yep.
And then those are linked to like different meet codes that I set up in Calendar. So for anybody, if they don't know yet, set up your Google Meet in Calendar and then you can schedule it, right? Because then it's the same code. But yeah, so then they go in there, they click on the different rooms. So at times I'll just break my screen into 4 different things. I'm in 4 different rooms at the same time, but I can, have small groups, which sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah.
So when you have your 4 different meets going, you just have them in 4 separate tabs tiled on your desktop? Yeah. Are you using the Dual S extension or no?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, I use the mute button extension, which is great.
I did hear about that one too, right?
Because otherwise you have 4 groups just talking in your ear and you have no idea what's happening. So yeah, I mute 3 of the tabs and then I tell them like when my video's on, I'm in that room.
So that is a separate extension, right?
Yeah.
So they would go to the Chrome extension store or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Chrome.
Yeah, and it's I think it's just called mute tab or something.
Perfect.
It's super handy.
So is that just something the teacher needs? The students don't need that, right?
No, the students don't need it. No.
So
no, don't, because I told the student about it and then their sibling said they were just muting me all the time. So don't tell the students. Yeah.
I wonder if I should show where those things are. Would that be helpful, do you think?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. All right. I'll stop sharing for a second. Feel free to keep chatting about oh, I needed that.
What do you need?
Sorry, I need a tab. I was like, what am I doing? Okay. Sorry.
That's okay.
So you're going to go to, it's the extension. Oh, web store. So if you go to the Chrome web store, and then you can search the extension. So it's just called Mute.
There it is.
And is it this one, the Google Meet Easy Mute, or Mute tab shortcuts? Do you know?
Mine is like a speakerphone with an X. Maybe
Okay.
hit more extensions.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Where?
Top right. You might be covered.
Mine's called
sorry.
Mute tab.
Move our picture. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I couldn't see you.
Yeah.
There we go.
I had the same problem.
Okay.
Mine's called Mute tab.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. All right. So that's good to know. The other one that teachers were mentioning was the Dualis or Dualis for splitting the screen if you're sharing part of your screen. And some teachers were using it so that they could see their Google Meet on one side and then sharing screens so that they can see both on one screen. If you're just working from a laptop at home, they also mentioned that one.
Depending on the device, Windows do that natively.
Yeah, and that's what I've always done. I've always
I'm
just
not
split
sure the
them.
purpose of that. Like on my Mac, because I'm on Mac, I have it's a magnet app, but it's like an actual computer app.
Right, and so if I
like the purpose of that.
If I do this, I can just snap this over here.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I can open up which is what I've always done, but I'm not sure everybody knows, or if they're on a Chromebook, I'm wondering if that's not an option. I do it on my iPad as well.
Oh, okay. I haven't used Chromebooks too much.
Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah, so that way people know where to find those things. Any other ideas or key learning or Yep.
I don't know if this one got shared, but one that I use a lot is, let me find the actual name of it. It's a paint one, web paint.
Okay.
What does it do?
Yeah, web paint. So web paint is an extension that lets you draw on web pages,
Oh,
which is really nice. Saw Chelsea there. Yeah, so it's beautiful. So when I have like my slideshow going, I can open that up and I can draw on top of my slides, which is super handy sometimes, right?
yeah.
Or if I'm recording student responses, I can do it right in slides, and like it doesn't save it to the slide. It's just like you draw on top of it, kind of like a
Okay, yeah.
smartboard feature.
Okay.
So you unless you take a screenshot of it, but for a lot of stuff, like I'm writing down, a response, or I'm drawing a picture or whatever it is. So that's been super
That's
helpful.
great.
Oh, okay, bud.
I just installed it. That's like
Awesome.
a game changer.
I'm gonna install it on Dan's when
Yeah.
I'm done. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I was getting super frustrated because I would have like, I'd have a slideshow and we'd be talking about stuff, then I'd have to like switch screens to get onto something else and show them stuff. And I'm just like, if I don't have a giant whiteboard behind me, but it's nice because, then I can use that.
Awesome.
I've also joined from my iPad, and I've just had like, whatever whiteboard app open on my iPad, and I just share that, which works too. But
that's typically how I do it.
Draw on slides, so
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Cool. Thank you.
No problem.
That's awesome.
Great tips being shared. I love it.
Okay, sorry, I'm just going to move us so we're out of my way. We did have some things to share. Please jump in if you have other things as well. So we wanted to share the Ophea Open Class channel. They have, she has like 3 or 4 weeks worth of videos of things that you can do at home with your students. It always gives like the objective and then some safety things to think about when you're doing physical activity at home. And then she uses all items that you would have at home. So like cans and towels and laundry baskets and doors, like things that they don't have to get extra things to collect. So these are quite good. There's quite a few of them. My husband teaches phys ed as one of his things, and he mentioned that the weeks 3 and 4 are better than the first 2 weeks. And also some of the videos have like a primary, then or junior, and then an intermediate focus. So you could like fast forward to the section of the video for the students that you're teaching.
Can I just add there for anyone who's teaching French, whether that be our French immersion teachers or core French that are looking to bring in a little physical activity. All of these are available in French, both on the website. You just toggle over to the French version of Ophea, and then there's the YouTube channel as well, and it's called Ophea pour tous. So if you're looking for some activities in French, they are also available.
Mm-hmm. And the Ophea website as well has lots and lots and lots of things. It's just, it has lots and lots and lots of things. So finding things can be, you might spend some time doing that. The other one, oops, sorry. I forgot that the button is right there. These I've seen a lot in the brick and mortar schools as quick little brain breaks, and they're would you rather games. So the students pick from the choices, and then they do the physical activity matching their choice. And when I've seen them do it, it's been super cute because they all talk about it first, like I'm going to choose this, I'm going to choose this, and then they do the activity. I can play the beginning of it if anybody wants to see what it is. Just see. So this is a winter one. They have like Among Us. They have all kinds of them.
It's time for a brain break, the games where we energize our body to ignite our mind. Today's game is a game of Winter Would You Rather. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more great games. In this game, you will have 10 seconds to choose between 2 options and then 20 seconds to do the matching activity. Are you ready for round 1? Here we go. Would you rather go snowshoeing or tobogganing? If you said snowshoeing, you get to do butt kicks. And if you said tobogganing, you get to do standing elbows to knees.
Okay.
It's time for a brain break, the games where we
Sorry, I'm having trouble with the controls right there. Okay, so those are really cute. The little kids really seem to enjoy them in the classrooms that I've seen. I see you nodding, Ryan. So do you use those as well?
Yeah. Yeah, we've been doing those. I have my kids like set up on a schedule because at the beginning of the year it was just like chaos trying to find stuff. So
Yeah.
like Mondays we do like the Would You Rathers, and we do like one of the Kids Bop dance alongs.
Mhm.
And then we do like a random workout or something. We'll kind of I do 20 minutes every single day. Just because
No, that's
it
great.
just
Yeah.
gives them, you know, and it's consistent, right? So we do it right after first break at 10:30.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I just kind of switch it out, but it's nice like planning wise for me because I know every Monday is a Would You Rather, so I just grab a different one. I'll pop a different one in. Tuesday we do Just Dance, and that's like I'm a DJ, so I DJ different songs.
Oh, that's awesome.
And Wednesday is like free time for them, so they go into like that virtual class, and there's like a whole fitness room that I have set up, and they can click on whatever video they want. Thursdays, what do we do Thursdays? Thursdays are the Get Kids Moving workouts. And Angela, I sent those ones to you, and they're fantastic. There's like Harry Potter ones, there's superhero ones, there's like
Okay,
whole.
I have a slide deck called Netflix, and it links to all of those.
Oh, okay.
I'll share it
Well,
with you.
there you go. Yeah.
Hilarious.
They are really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they're and like my kids love them. Like some of them are pretty long and they get super tired. But like majority they're like 5, 6, 7 minutes. And no, they're great. Workout as Black
That's
Panther
awesome.
or
Okay.
Spider Woman or whatever
Where
it
is
is.
the actual website? Sorry.
So I just have it as it like I just have like the playlist saved. It's Glenn
Okay.
Higgins Fitness.
Okay.
I'm trying to find it
I
right
can share
now
that
because
with
you did send it to me. I can always.
Is there a I don't know, can I send it through chat? Is that a thing?
Yep, you can drop it in the chat.
I'll just drop it in there. Yeah, either that one, there's Cosmic Kids.
Yep, the Cosmic Kids one is really good too.
The Kids Bop dance alongs, I use those.
Do you want me to just copy them all, Ryan? Would that be easier? Then you don't have to find them individually?
These ones, right?
Yeah, those ones.
Okay.
So,
sorry.
It's okay. I know I always place that. It's great. But yeah, so they're all like organized for different likes. So if you have a bunch of kids that, you know, are super into Star Wars, they can do those. And
oh, so fun.
Yeah, they're really good. Like they're really good with little workouts and stuff.
Awesome.
So I'll usually do those with them, and then I'll call them out as they do it. I try to get them on video as much as I can. And then as far as like assessment, I have a form set up with all of their names, and then they're all like a rating scale. So it's like 1 to 4. It's like that's basically their participation level. So every time we do these, I just mark them off like, you know, are they participating? Are they not doing anything? Are they, you know, like level wise? And then I'll share that with them too and say, you know, you've been, you know, level 2 the last 3 days or whatever it is, just to give them that feedback.
All right. Awesome. I wanted to share this too. This is from Sean McCormick. He shared a doc with some games that kids can play at home. So like I just screenshotted one of them, but again, same like the other one, except for that obviously there's no video involved, right? So this could be posted and you could walk through it with the kids, and then the kids can be doing it on camera if you wanted.
Well, and I think especially stuff like you said, not all of our kids will be joining through the Google Meet, right? So this is
an
really
good
option
point too.
for those the students who are choosing to do on-demand activities. This would
the option 2 students. Yeah, that's true, right? Because then there's an activity for them for phys ed or for DPA. This one, and you shared this one, right?
Yeah, well, this is
the how to draw. They're so cute, these ones. So cute. And we were just talking about it in the grade 4 session.
Okay, hold on. I just see Deb put something in the chat. I do virtual kayaking and virtual bike riding. Okay, Deb, you're gonna have to come and talk about that. What does that mean? Oh, we're not hearing you. It doesn't look like you're muted though. I am intrigued what this could be.
Right? Do you just put like a video on in the back and then like kayak in front of it?
Her audio is not working for some reason. Okay, you keep working on that, Deb. We can always come back to that.
You can put it in the chat too, and I can read it out.
So a lot of teachers, our curriculum partners are also
yeah, we hope you can
teach a lot of the arts too, we're finding. So one of the ones that we've heard a lot of people using, it's nice, quick, easy because it's not requiring a lot of materials, right? Because that's the other thing we're dealing with at home is we don't necessarily have that vast array of art supplies that we would at the school. So there's a ton of learn to draw type activities online. This whole channel I thought was really cute. It's Art for Kids Hub. For those of you doing it in French, there's TV5 Monde Jeunesse. They have them in French. Really simple language. You can pause it as you go if the kids need time. But it's just another quick, easy art activity.
And then they can hold up their picture to the camera.
Yep. Yeah, or take a picture and put it on Seesaw or whatever, right?
Yep. Another tip for this one that we got out of our last session, that is if your children are coming into the class, you can have one of these on while they're coming in, so that it's something that they can work on while you're waiting to get everybody into the classroom and then get attendance done.
Great idea.
I think, can you guys hear me now?
We hear you now.
So the virtual kayaking, virtual biking, virtual skiing, they're all on YouTube.
Oh.
And so the kids love them because they feel like they're on an adventure in a kayak. So in the wintertime, we all got on a train. So you felt like you're getting on a train. And then we stopped and got off the train. Yeah, there we go. And then we went, yeah. And so then we would go virtually skiing. Then we get back on the train on our trip, and then we go tobogganing, virtual tobogganing. And so I hooked them all up, and then we go on these trips. So right now we're learning about orcas and reading a book with orcas in it. So we're kayaking with orcas, and then their phys ed activity is kayaking. So it all combines.
That's cool. Is that ever neat?
Yeah. So they really like them. Especially when they haven't had the experiences before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
For this one, Steph, it might be easier actually if you can just open up the window for it, or right to the website, Music Play Online.
Okay.
This is just a quick overview, but I don't think we really need to go through that per se.
Is it? Oh, I thought there was another one. Okay.
So actually, it's linked. The title of the slide is linked. You can just click it. Yeah, sorry, I forgot I did that.
Nope, that's okay.
I tried to make it easy and I forgot. So this is for music. It's all online learning lessons. So if you click the title, not the video, the actual title.
Sorry, just taking me a minute.
Okay.
Click on online learning, and you see.
Oh, you still got the video playing in
I
the
still
background.
have the video playing.
Very
See, fun with the tech. And now my things are in the way.
It's just the way it is.
Lesson looks like.
Sorry, there we go.
Okay.
Where did it go? Oh, it's gone. Here, this should work this time. Don't touch anything else, Steph.
So this is actually one that was shared. One of the, I don't even remember who, so I can't even give credit, but there was someone on Monday who shared this one. And I thought it was worth just a really quick walkthrough. If you click on online learning, you can scroll down, there is a plethora of activities here for music, and you can click on anything there. And if you scroll down, there's obviously the PDF version, but then if you scroll down, there's actually interactive pieces to go with it. So you can listen to this. So this is a really short lesson by the looks of it. It's just that one activity. Some of them have multiple activities where you can click, they're interactive. Students listen to a piece of music and they respond. Like, it's really neat, I thought. That's why I thought it was really
it's all sorted by grade too.
It's sorted, yeah, absolutely. That's what I was going to say. If you go at the very top, you can refine your search by grade level. And,
I see.
And subject or language as well. So there's some French resources as well. So I just thought it was worth a walkthrough after it was mentioned in the chat. So it's not mine, but I was like, wow, there is a lot here to look at.
Sorry, is that where you select the language as well there? Oh, there. Sorry,
yeah.
Wasn't far enough down.
Oh, you don't have to worry about clicking it, but yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
So there's some activities there ready to go, right? Which is good.
That's great. All right.
have something.
All right.
I just put these ones in for our core French teachers, if you're just quickly looking for a little activity to get you through the rest of the week. And these are from OMLTA. We tweeted them out the other day. There's several others, but here the next two slides are just a couple examples. Play a game of word rounds, similar to categories if you played that, without the letter maybe. That would be a little more challenging in a second language, but just a category, and students have to come up with words for it.
Mm-hmm. I like taboo too, although you need a
yeah.
little bit more language for taboo, but
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is just a really simple thing.
Oh.
Is, label your favorite space. You can, for the really young ones, if you need to provide the labels, that's maybe one thing after you've, taught the vocabulary in that, or they can create their own and sticky note all over the house. I know myself, when I'm working on a new language, I honestly have sticky notes.
I was going to say, when I was learning Spanish, I had everything labeled in my whole college room.
Yeah, I still do it. If I'm before a trip, I'm like, okay, time to put some words on. So it's one way just to keeps reinforcing the language for them. And then I loved the extension of the Idéalo series of Là où je dors, and that's all about kids in their living spaces. So those are just a couple ideas put out there by OMLTA. Take a look, follow them on, they have Facebook presence and Twitter. So either one.
Chelsea, I just wanted to ask again, you mentioned the other game that is like Kahoot. Was it you that was talking yesterday about it? What's it called?
Blocket.
How do you spell it?
It's BLOOKET.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, I just want to add to this too, this label your space is really cool for writing, but then I had the idea of extending the La où je dors series as well, with having them give a tour of their house.
Of their own place, if they're comfortable with that.
Of their own space, yeah.
Because then, like you said, it brings in the oral communication as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I've definitely found that the benefit of that virtual portion is they love sharing stuff. They love sharing because they're in their house, right? So they love sharing, oh, I have this, I have this, I have this. I don't teach them the French side, but I could only imagine how much you could incorporate that with all right, explain this. We do oral stuff as well. And yeah, there's so many opportunities. Go outside. What do you see? It's everything, right? And they love. Right now they're all about they got for Christmas. So I did a whole holiday mapping thing about to get them to get it out, and they have all their they can put pictures in there, and there's so many opportunities while they're at home because they have access to everything right there, which is really nice.
Dan had all of his kids bring their pets to class for one of his classes today, and then so he took them upstairs to see our turtle. So he had the pug on his lap, and then he was showing our turtle, and the kids all had their pets on their laps. And
yeah, I mean, there's stuff you can do. Another colleague does stuffy phys ed classes, so they bring their stuffy, and I started doing that for a little bit too. So I'm grab your stuffy, let's or if we do a virtual field trip, because they're able to do that. It's not stuff they can normally do at school, and yeah, it adds that little bit more.
And you don't well, most likely you probably haven't met your students in person, right?
No.
Right.
No.
And they haven't met each other necessarily either, because they're coming from all over. So having that opportunity to, connect with each other and connect with you.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think it's such a cool way to build that community, that sense of community, right? It brings them together. Deb, what was that YouTube link you put in? Musicogram?
It's a musicogram, and they use this a lot in Europe. And so it's the kids are supposed to touch the piece of paper with the lines and shapes on it as the music plays. But for me, I have them do it like a conductor in the air. And so there it is right there, the polka one in brown and the taupe color over, yeah. And so we play music in the air, and they love these. And then they can make their own as well.
Sorry, how are they making their own?
So you can see beside it how the person has the hand there that's tracing the lines. or the one, it's called the mix, the polka at the side here. Yeah, that one. And so all of those lines are provided. So dun, 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 dun. And so then they take a song and then they create their own pattern for it. And then everyone in the class has to do it.
That's so neat.
That's
really
cool.
fun.
Yeah, so they use this in Europe, and when you look at kids in Europe learning music, they've always got their fingers going, and that's because this is what they use in their schools. So it's really fun.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That's a new
Cool.
new
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then is there any other resources or things that you love that you wanted to share? I think it's still just us. So unless there's anyone else here who would like to, nope, just us. So is there anything else you wanted to share? You've already shared awesome things. Thank you so much. And I know we have a lot. If there was anything else that jumped out at you before.
When my computer wasn't working with sound, you were talking about extra activities. So when kids are finished their work, they have Everfi that they go to, and that has science and math and health and internet safety. And so they're all set programs that the kids go into and can work on. And there's a word one for primary level. It goes right up to high school level. So there's a bunch of different activities in Everfi. And then my kids also have SumDog, and they have the Knowledge Hook, and they have, what else do they have? I'm trying to think of all the programs. We have so many of them. Knowledge Hook, Everfi. They have Con Math they can go into. They've got extra math they can go into. And so each day I just put up different extra activities for them to use.
You guys are such a source of knowledge. I'm like just soaking it all up. Like, this is so good.
Everfi is amazing. Everfi tracks them, and it also marks them, and it's got Compassion Project in it, etc. And so there's lots of really great activities, and the kids follow along and learn. You go to student and teacher login to sign up. And it's got a whole financial literacy program as well for junior and then intermediate.
So is it like you set up a class code and then?
Yeah, you set up your class code, set your kids into it. And it's got the Futures Hockey, which is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey. And then they're all digital lessons that have to do with hockey for math.
Oh,
And,
cool.
Deb, is this free?
Yeah,
I assume there's some sort of a paid thing.
It's completely free.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing. And when we're in regular school, you can actually end up winning competitions or get picked to go and skate with the Toronto Maple Leafs and that, or the feeder team. And yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So they had people that used to come up to our schools and promote it. And then they've just continually built onto it all these programs.
Neat. That's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great program. What else do I have?
So much out there. Thank you guys for sharing.
There really is. I think the main thing is, finding those websites that the students that they like, but that they can use all the time, and that, like I said earlier, is them getting used to, those certain things, and like, something that they're engaged with. I think that's the key there, right?
And the biggest thing in the beginning of it, which is the most difficult, is getting all their codes, passwords, and that to them. Once you've got that done, your life is set. But that was the most stressful part in the beginning in September. So slowly, week by week, I added a new program with new passwords. And then but now I can just say, go to Everfi. They all go into Everfi. And so,
oh,
yep,
sorry.
go ahead. That's okay.
So what I did to solve some of that problem is I have a Google sheet
Yeah.
for each student, and then I share that with them. So, and it has all their passcodes on it. It has all their it is a pain in the butt to set up in the beginning. Just because I
Yes.
have
I was
a
going
whole
to ask
bunch of
that if
different
that's how
Google
you did
sheets.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have each student has their own. I have it on their journal in CISA. And they have
Oh, smart.
a link to it so they can, and it's just a view only, so they can see it, and then they can see, all the different passcodes and stuff.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Chelsea.
Yeah. I photographed all my passwords and cards so that they could see, oh, in Codable, I go to this, in all the different coding programs, they had something to go to. And then, so they all have photos. Now, every once in a while, someone will say, I forget. And then you have to remind them where I've stored them all in their Seesaw accounts.
Yeah.
I wondered,
tip,
yeah.
Though, like if teachers do end up, I mean, right now we're supposed to be going back Monday, but if a class is in quarantine for 2 weeks or something, that's definitely a great tip to help teachers get through that time.
Because I've seen teachers like in brick and mortar, they have a card, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The student has a card somewhere in their desk, or it's like it's taped or it's pinned or something somewhere. But this would be the equivalent. But doing it in a photo or a spreadsheet is a great way for teachers to take that classroom brick and mortar to the virtual world.
Yeah, I used the collage app and then just created a collage for each kid with all their, so.
Nice, cool.
But that's what takes time but once you've done it, it's great.
Saves time in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, thank you, both of you for joining us. And Chelsea, she's already gone, but it was so good. I know I learned a ton.
I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
So yes, this will be a definite support for our curriculum partners out there as they navigate through the rest of the week, and who knows throughout the rest of the year what will bring, right?
Yeah.
So thank you
so much.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Thank you.
Have a good day.
I learned lots too.
Okay.
I bookmarked
I'm
a few of these.
Music play right now. Music play. I'm on my way.
Ryan, I also have a Google slide deck set up as a word wall that you could just dump right into your Google Classroom. So I'll share it with you right now.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Yeah,
I was trying to figure out how to problem solve around that, and I love how she did that with the alphabet at the top of the Bitmoji. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and that's especially with the virtual class. It's getting them to kind of learn that everything is clickable, because a lot of times they'll be like, well, that's just a picture, or the title or whatever it is. But like it's something like that where all the different letters are clickable. That's really cool.
Right.
A little trick with that, if there's other teachers that don't know, is you can make a blank text box, and make that text box clickable. If it's like one image, different parts of it, you can do a little text box. I know, little secrets.
Awesome. You learned so much this year, right?
Yeah, really.
That's awesome.
Okay, well, thank you both so much.
No problem.
Have a good night, guys.
It was good to see you.
Bye.
Bye.